long, hard-fought Saturday in a Week 10 that was billed as the weekend in the SEC for a couple of reasons. One, you had 1 versus 3, Tennessee taking on Georgia, or depending on how you look at it, 1 versus 1, 1 in the AP, Georgia, 1 in the college football playoff, Tennessee. We had that going at 3:30 Eastern. Then the nightcap, we had Alabama and LSU. So we knew going in it was going to be a special weekend. Then you had a couple of matchups that had the opportunity to just throw everything into chaos. And boy, did we get that in the first weekend of November. So cheers to you, November. I typically don't like you, November, for a couple of reasons. One, it's getting cold here in Connecticut. The leaves they're done changing. They're all over your yard. Winter is coming. It really just it's kind of one of those months where you dread. But after the first weekend of November, I am going to applaud you for everything you did for us in college football yesterday. So many places to jump off. Let's start here because I think it's important to tell the story of where we are headed now this college football season. Notre Dame and Clemson. And I want to start with Notre Dame and Clemson because that game, 35-14, Notre Dame getting the win, is now the one that is going to start all of the movement in the college football playoff poll. I get it, and we'll get to Tennessee, Georgia in just a minute. But when you look now at the potential of the alterations of the college football playoff rankings, what do I say every time? I say it on TV. I say it on this medium of the college football YouTube channel. Don't worry about the first rankings. Fine, you can scream about them, and you can throw a hissy fit when the first ones come out. Fine, but I say it all of the time. The first rankings are merely a table setter. It's a television show because everybody last week, I don't care who it was, why is Clemson 4th? They don't belong being ranked 4th. What have they done? Their resume's awful. Their offense stinks. Yeah, and it showed up yesterday at Notre Dame, and now the Clemson argument's gone. You don't have to yell about Clemson anymore. You don't have to talk about them. Sorry about that. By the way, autoplay on ESPN.com can be so aggressive sometimes. Like it'll just show up and play an ad and go full go and potentially interrupt this gold that was going on here on Sunday Bloody Sunday. Anyway, I digress because of autoplay on ESPN.com. But that argument's done with Clemson. They're out of the playoff. And sometimes the committee makes a mistake. And people like me, and we were talking earlier in the week with Paul, and we'll recap a lot of the stuff on our recap as well. Clemson had deficiencies. There's a reason DJU got yanked in one of the biggest games of the year against Syracuse because they were down 21-7. He was bad again on Saturday. And there are things with this offense that just aren't working. And even Cade Klubnik, he gave him kind of a punch against Syracuse. He came in and threw an interception against Notre Dame. So now that Clemson is out, now you're going to start seeing the movement. Give Marcus Freeman a lot of credit, and I'm going to here because he had an opportunity early on in the season. If you look at where they are, Notre Dame, they lost to Marshall, which is not good. They lost to Stanford, which is not good. And in a first year of a program for a first-time head coach at a brand like Notre Dame, that thing would have been so easy for people to start doubting. And why did we hire him? And the players could start questioning. When you beat number 4 on your yard as convincingly as you did, cheers to Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame. So the Clemson, those that were anti-Clemson of the playoff, I get it. I was there too, saying that they're going to have to prove a little bit more as they go down the stretch because I wasn't sure they could beat North Carolina, who got by Virginia yesterday, who was averaging 16.5 points a game. Then they put up 28 yesterday, neither here nor there. It's probably for a little -7.5 reason I care about that. But the Clemson situation handled itself. And I lead with that because, again, it's always an example that when you get some of these rankings that are perhaps a little bit too high, they tend to work themselves out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.